we are back with another Runway to Real Way. I really love to do these looks inspired from the runway shows and how we can translate it into real life, wearable life, out and about, Target runs. I'm going to be pulling inspiration from Pastel, which I was actually backstage for. If you guys caught my New York Fashion Week vlog, then you saw that we were backstage, guys. Oh my god, so exciting. So you guys can catch the vlog here. So Diane Kendall was the makeup artist. She's like one of the head makeup artists from MAC. And before we get started, I did want to point out that this video is sponsored by Kosas. You know how much I love Kosas, and I feel like actually you guys out there over on Instagram, even here on YouTube, a lot of you guys were like, I think you're gonna really like Kosas, and you're right, I really do. It's very much our vibe, our aesthetic, our feels, our, you know, what we like over on this side of the internet. So at Pastel, they had a lot of different looks. It was very eclectic. It was inspired by 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like literally every decade across the board. And I feel like that was very apparent through many other designers as well. I know Marc Jacobs, the clothing and like the feel, it was very eclectic everywhere. Everybody's borrowing from different decades. So there was actually 4 different makeup looks at Pastel. I'm gonna be doing 2. I wanna do like, definitely the skin was just so dewy, as Diane was explaining, like they did wanna have a very dewy base. Very much our vibe, and you can definitely get that look with Kosas. So we're gonna try that. I feel like the makeup look that was kind of all over this one model with a blue lid and then a pulled out black wing liner. So we're gonna do a version of that, again, a little bit more wearable. But if you wanna go for all that drama, do it, girl. It is so beautiful. And then we're gonna do a Vampy Lip, which I feel like was just all over, like across the board, so many different runway shows from Anna Sui, Laquan. We're gonna do that as well. So let's get into it, shall we? We already have my skincare set. My skin looked wrecked in New York, like just so dehydrated and just so, thank God. I actually got a facial in New York and I feel like it helped a lot. Shout out to Chill House for inviting me. So I'm gonna start by hydrating my lips. This is actually a tinted one that I have not tried. I have tried just like the basic balm transparent. This one is called Pulse, and we're just gonna hydrate these lips. They're so dry. Ooh, this is pretty. It's a really, your lip up better. So good. I love this. Kosas Pulse. Okay, so we're gonna get right into the skin, the base, my favorite part. I'm actually gonna start with the primer. I feel like we do want to do a lot of skin prep prior, so I already did my full skincare routine. I actually did an exfoliating mask the night before, like yesterday night, last night. Wow. So I already did a pretty strong AHA, BHA exfoliating treatment last night, just so I can wake up with like some really glowy skin. And as my last step of the skincare routine, which I do feel like is really important for just kind of maintaining really soft, supple skin, I love this oil. I haven't really talked about it much, and I've had it for quite some time. I got it at the airport because I was so dry, and it completely transformed my skin in that layover, so I was like, let me buy this. It's just so nourishing, and it really helps to replenish any dryness. I think for these really dewy skin looks, that is gonna kind of be your downfall if you have like a lot of dry patches, because the makeup isn't gonna go on as smooth. So definitely exfoliation and hydration. I really would recommend this. This is the Body Shop Oils of Life. I'll have it linked for you, as well as any of the products that I use today. So moving on from the skincare prep, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primers. I absolutely adore Laura Mercier primers. They came out with a few, and I still just always gravitate towards the illuminating one. But I have been, you know, trying out the others just to see what else they got. Apply that with our hands, or if you want to get really fancy, I feel like even using a brush, I feel like it helps to distribute the product really beautifully as well. And it's what I would see the makeup artist do backstage, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. We really want the skin to look extremely radiant and healthy and really natural, and I feel like when you do have that light coming from underneath the foundation, it just makes everything look so healthy. So moving on to the tinted face oil. I'm using the shade 6. I really love this foundation. I've been using it for many months now. This foundation is extremely dewy, extremely dewy. You can even see like how liquidy it is. It's not thick. It has a really thin consistency. So I like to just apply that with my fingers, and you can see because of the thin consistency, because it is more of an oil, it just seeps into the skin so seamlessly. It still allows coverage, you can see, but at the same time it just looks like your skin, and that is so important to me. I feel like that's very much our vibe, right? Like we love a light skin, dewy makeup. If you have oily skin, I don't know if this one is for you. I have combo skin, and by, say I have this on 8 hours, by the 4th hour, I'm definitely like, some of my natural oils comes through and mixes with the foundation, and I am extra dewy, which I don't mind personally, so it just kind of depends on how you like your face to look. Obviously, if you're more of a matte girl, not for you. That is the foundation base. It's really dewy, like I have been saying. Let's move on to concealer, because they actually came out with a new concealer. This is Revealer Concealer. What I haven't mentioned about Kosas actually is that they are a clean beauty line. So if clean is your thing, Kosas is 100% up your alley. Or if you're just trying to like clean up some products in your makeup routine, I feel like that's how I am. Like I'm not completely clean, but of course when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I do feel like this is better for my skin. But with Revealer Concealer, they do actually have some skincare ingredients in here. So there's like hyaluronic acid. They have arnica, which is kind of meant to help with blemishes. So if you have a blemish that you're trying to cover up with concealer, actually over time, because of the arnica in it, is gonna help. And then it also has caffeine, so I always use concealer, as I'm sure most of you guys do, right under here. So that's gonna help to tighten the skin and actually make you feel more awake. So I have these two that I've kind of been going back and forth with. This is 5 and 5.5. I'm gonna swatch them on my hand. First, let me open up this one because I actually just got 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch 6 here. Yeah, this is definitely too dark for me. 5.5 I would say is my best match. And then here is this guy. And I just want to show you guys these because it is a new launch, and I know so many of you guys are curious about Kosas. So I just want to, you know, yeah, these are so similar. 5 and 5.5 are like fucking the same. But yeah, I would say 5.5. You can see this one is a little bit more yellow. But as far as the tone goes, it's really like a true medium. And then that one would be way too dark for me. Maybe to like spot concealer or something like that. Wow, I just figured out why my shit is always so blurry. I'm so sad that I just did that whole video intro with my stuff blurry. But anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the 5.5. It is a really creamy formula. I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge here. This thing is so gross. It does kind of leave like a little bit of a luminous glow, which I'm all about. And it is, I would say, like a medium coverage. Yeah, I would say like a medium coverage. If you really like layer it on thick, I feel like you can probably get away with like a fuller coverage. So you can see it creases up a little bit, but that's kind of normal for me right under here, especially with a creamier formula. So I just kind of like to blot it. And I do like to use actually a powder just to set this. So I've been using the Pat McGrath, and I'm just going to go right here. I can get really detailed with a brush because I do want to leave all of this nice and luminous. And right in here where I tend to crease. So next up, just to really amplify some dew, give our cheeks a little flush of color in a really natural way, I'm going to be using a cream product by Kosas as well. This is called Tropic Equinox, and it is in, like I said, the cream formula. This like really neutral tone. Just kind of like blotted a little bit here on the back of my hands. Go right at the apples, just for a little bit of contour, like Diane was saying. You can do this. I know you're gonna look silly. And just like mainly concentrate the product as you're like moving up into the cheekbone. That's gonna give you like a nice lifted look while still looking really natural. You see how it like just kind of melts into the skin. I'm gonna take the other side of the Charlotte Tilbury and then grab this guy, which is a really pretty highlight, like champagne kind of color, and I'm just gonna push that right onto the cheekbones for some light catching. I love this. And we're gonna go right underneath the brow bone. I always like to add a little bit right here onto the center. And you can totally take this on your fingers as well. It melts really nicely if you're like more of a finger painting gal. So before I started, I had actually already filled in my brows. I used the color, I'm like, where is it? It's red in my hands. The ColourPop Precision Pencil. It's one of my favorites. And I just wet the end of the spoolie here, and I'm going to take my soap brows just so we get that really like editorial kind of look, and just wisp them up. Like do a really like Nikki makeup. I'm obsessed with her makeup tutorials. I wish she could do my makeup. And I'm just going to do the front sections really, really wispy. And soap brows just really pulls the hairs. I have been using this for years, and it's one of my favorite ways to get a really in-your-face brow. So that is the skin look that I see at a lot of backstage. At Prabble definitely, but also at a lot of other ones. I feel like the skin is always so natural, and then they go really bold with either the eyes or the lips, or maybe both, like Anna Sui, but for the most part it's always like this really beautiful like luminescent skin. So I really love that. You guys know I'm always a fan of some dewy skin, glossy skin, healthy skin. Alright, time to change up the look. I'm pulling my hair down, and I'm gonna just do a really bold lip, and then I'm gonna do a like a little bit of a glossy eye. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this golden shade here, and I'm gonna tap that onto my eye, just so we have a little bit of a wash of a gleam of color there. And then for mascara, I'm just going to use this Honest Beauty one just to dress up the eye a little bit more and allow my eyes to look a little bit more awake. So now let's move on to the lips. So just like how Pat McGrath did at the Anna Sui, where she kind of mixed two bold colors, I'm going to be mixing the Kosas Dark Room, this one here, with Bite. This one is called Damson, and it is more of like a deep, like plummy, almost black shade. So first I'm gonna line my lips with this, and then I'm gonna go in with Dark Room. And these are also part of, whoa, I look so crazy. These are also part of the Bite All Clean line. So now with Dark Room, I'm just gonna fill it in and kind of blend the two. This is such a beautiful shade worn alone, but I did just want to give a little bit of dimension, just like Pat McGrath did. All you need, so there you have that bold lip. And I feel like this skin finish as well as the naked eye really helps to complement this bold lip and helps to really balance it. I mean, you can definitely go for it and do the full like Anna Sui like green tones, but I feel like this is definitely how I would personally wear this bold of a lip, you know, if I'm going out to an event or for a night out or to Trader Joe's. But yeah, this is definitely a lot more wearable in my opinion, and I think it's really impactful with not a lot of products. What do you guys think? Are you into this bold lip? Yes or no? Comment below. I want to know if you would rock this lip. Alright, so next let's move on to the Ojitos. So this look for Prabble was that wash of icy pastel blue. It's so beautiful, and I feel like really, really easy to do. And Kosas actually has this really amazing, ooh, I just gotta shake this up. These amazing, they're called 10-second eyeshadows, and they're so editorial, so easy to use. I always use like these neutral shades because it just adds like a little, you know, like I said, like a wash of color, just a little something there. And I love these two. These are Supreme and Glow. So you just have to shake them up before you apply them. I'm just gonna add a little bit of concealer just to help neutralize the eye again. Okay, so now onto the eyeshadow. So exciting. It's all over the lid. I'm gonna go just right above my crease. I'm gonna add one more layer of this blue just to really intensify it and make sure that there's no creases or anything. Let it dry. Alright, so now onto the eyeliner. You can do the wing as big as you want. I always like to start small and then see what kind of drama I want to bring. Obviously I have a very different eye shape than the model, so just kind of do what works best for you. Ooh, I like how this one came out more than this one. So with my Urban Decay, this is the Perversion Glide On Pencil. I'm just gonna go underneath, kind of keeping it tight, and then once I smudge it out, it'll look a little bit sharper. So with this smudge brush, this is from e.l.f., start smudging that out. And mine is gonna be just a hair softer than Prabble's, just to make it less intense and a little bit more wearable for me. Sometimes you have to kind of hold this out and then just so you get like a nice clean line. You can see how that's a little bit more smudgy and it makes the liner less intense. This side is so much better than this side. And that is the final look I wanted to recreate today from the New York Fashion Week runway shows. And let me know out of the three, I mean, I guess the skin look is like everybody is down to try that. So I guess from either a bold lip or a bold eye, what are you most likely to rock?